for Sean Mackey to strike! It's Calvin Miller up against McGowan. Miller sends it in! It's Miller time, baby! Champions again! Falkirk have broken through the glass ceiling! After 15 years in the wilderness, Falkirk Football Club is once again a Premiership club!
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall, we're navy blue, are you?
Hibs away, I like it, Hibs away, I like it, 3 points to the Bairns and up the road. I don't know where I'm going with this song. Hello, welcome to Falkirk Daft. I am John McAnally, joined as ever by the Ginger God of Pod himself, Ross Wayne, as we are here to talk about Falkirk's fantastic 4-1 win against Hibs. Hello, Ross.
Good evening. What a day. Superb.
Brilliant.
Superb.
Absolutely superb. I mean, we're in such good form at the moment. We're playing so well. And Rostradamus himself predicted we'd give someone a doing, and it turned out it was Hibs.
Yeah, my 3-0 didn't quite come off, but my...
you got the goal deficit.
The
margin one.
Yeah.
And remember, the week before I called 1-1 and Falkirk winning on penalties. My God, we're like who's that mad woman from South America who's blind and like predicts stuff from the future? I can't remember her name, but we're a bit like her.
I thought you were going to say Mystic Meg.
No, I'll take Mystic Meg as well. But there's just this blind woman from like South America who predicts all the stuff that's going on. We're just like that on this podcast. But no,
wait till you hear my Celtic prediction then. Come on.
Right, okay, we'll wait and see about that. But I know it was smashing day. We were obviously in hospitality. Thank you very much to Colin Barr, who stepped in for us in the 1876 lunch and did a cracking job. Bumped into him in the pub after the game, and he was like, he seemed to enjoy it. A bit nervous about it all, but he smashed it. In all accounts, he absolutely smashed it. So thank you, Colin, and well done to you.
Absolutely, well done, Colin. And I saw a fair few people talk about it on social media. So he's made exactly the right impression. Maybe this is just his thing. If he wants to do it every game,
we'll pass the baton on to him. There you go, Colin. Fire away. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you're in 1876 lunch, we were in hospitality, so it was great. Some well kent faces in there. It was you're no stranger to hospitality, obviously, Ross, but I had the full fam there. Father-in-law is a Hibee, and shout out to obviously Ali, Alan, Stevie Jackson, the rest of the commercial staff, Paddy and all that. They took really, really good care of us, and my father-in-law is not great on his feet. So they were able to sort out a back row seats for him, and they're brilliant. My father-in-law messaged me today saying I felt like a VIP, so that's all credit to the staff at Falkirk for that.
Brilliant. No, listen, I would expect nothing less either, because they have been phenomenal at that for years, and even more so the last few years as well. As people will know, because I talked about it on the last podcast, I had a few guests up from down south, work colleagues who not Falkirk fans, but they absolutely loved it, and they spoke really highly of the hospitality day, and the local pubs that we went into on Saturday night as well. So they couldn't have sung the praises anymore.
No, it was cracking, absolutely cracking day, and obviously. We were the captain's armband sponsors, so it was Finn and Barney that came up afterwards, and my laddie was absolutely delighted. He got his picture with Barney with the match ball, and obviously he got his picture with Brad Spencer, who you'd designed a baby captain's armband for his Wayne.
Yes, so a lot of people probably don't know about it. We don't obviously have them normally. It's normally just the adult captain's armbands, but they do actually make them in sort of child size, not baby sizes, but child sizes. And I thought with Brad having had a wee boy, Bradley Jr., it'd be a nice touch. So I messaged him during the week and said, listen, if you're about after the game and you're able to pop up, please do. And he did, which was lovely. And he was really chuffed with getting the small captain's armband. So he said once he gets a chance for a photo, he's going to send us one on. So that'll be nice.
Cracking. Aye, so the wee man was delighted with that as well, and obviously. Turns out Big Barney Stewart got a hat trick as well, so we're obviously going to talk in depth about the game, and the performance was absolutely incredible. But before we do that, let's talk about our sponsors, and it is, of course, RMAR Architecture. That is RMAR Architecture, RMAR Architecture. They've been on the go for 5 years and set up by our guest pundit this week, Ryan Marshall, who's going to come on and join us and talk about the Hibs game. They've been working within our local practice for 17 years now. That was Ryan, and now he's fully chartered and accredited, set out on his own way. He's one of only 3 chartered architects practices within the town. We've talked about his projects before. He did Crunchy Carrots, he did the houses across the old Polish Cove, and the convent site across from the old Falkirk Infirmary. That's all Ryan's work, so he's a cracking architect. And he's got an offer for us, 10% discount if you quote Falkirk Daft. So if you want a new project done where it's an extension in your house, you're thinking you're maybe in a business, you're going to start new premises, what have you, if you listen to Falkirk Daft, you get 10% off your architecture bill, thanks to Ryan. So get in touch with him through rmar.co.uk. Get in touch with Ryan, quote Falkirk Daft, and you can have 10% off your architecture fees. So there you go, cracking bit of stuff, Ross.
Absolutely. Listen, the guy's an absolute legend, and bumped into him last night as well at Behind the Wall with a few of the usual suspects. So I think he's a little bit rough today. I did see a video of him on a group chat singing karaoke in the toll booth. So we'll see.
I'll tell you, it's the best karaoke in Falkirk. I always say the toll booth is the best karaoke in Falkirk, and a lot of people are fans of the Scotia, but toll booth for me, best karaoke, brilliant. So always like to end it there after a day of hospitality, but I was well behaved and I was up the road for 7 o'clock last night, so I was quite impressed by myself there. But aye, cracking the night out. Good to see. We'll see how rough he is when we get him on the show.
Indeed.
And just in a bit. Got some birthdays. Let's fire into birthday corner right now, and we'll kick off from this from James Patterson. Says, hello again, Ross and John. Could I ask for a shout out on birthday corner for my son Harris Patterson, who'll be 11 on the 28th of January. That's from mum, dad, sister Enid, and older brothers Luke and Keegan. Ah yes, here we go. And not forgetting the guinea pigs, Alex and Bruno. Solid guinea pig names. More pets wishing children birthdays is what we want on this podcast. So shout out to Alex and Bruno the guinea pigs, and a happy birthday to Harris.
Indeed, and it was James actually sent us on a lovely video, didn't he? Because he had got a birthday shout out for Harris last year, and he had took a wee video of us talking about Harris on the podcast. So I don't know if he'll be doing that this time again, but listen, hopefully Harris has an amazing birthday in a couple of days' time.
Yeah.
And it's also a happy birthday to someone he's been a guest pundit before. We sit right beside him at the games as well. But Marshall Patterson, the Belgian, his birthday is tomorrow or today if you're listening to this on Monday, and that's from his son Blair and all of us, as in the usual suspects.
Happy birthday, Marshall Patterson, the John McGlynn lookalike. And if you do sit within about 10 rows of Marshall, you'll have definitely heard him at the football before. So happy birthday, Marshall. And shout out to Blair for getting that on as well for him. Players' birthdays this week on the 27th. The only we talked about him as a cult hero, Gerard Affius is 41. Mental.
He shouldn't be 41. He should have. Like, I know we say this almost every week, but these guys shouldn't be getting older.
I know. What
I want to still remember there was a 25-year-old.
What a player Big Gerard was. Conor Ballatoni didn't play for us that long. I actually bumped into him before Christmas. I think I told the story in this podcast at Super Scoreboard, the Cash for Kids lunch at the Hilton Doubletree, and he's now in finance then, so he's doing very well for himself.
I think he's a mortgage broker from memory. I'm sure I've seen him on social media or on LinkedIn. I think he is. I think he's a mortgage broker now. So yeah, he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah, not bad. On the 28th, Tony Parks is 63. I'd love to get him. Do you know, if we get him for a Falkirk Daft live, it would be an absolute barnstormer.
We should try, because he would be brilliant.
Fly him up for it.
63, Jesus Christ.
I know, there you go.
I wonder if he can still swing in the bar.
I bet you can. On the 30th, Lewis Kidds, remember him? Played for. Did we have him?
I do, yeah, a few years ago.
Did he come from Hearts? Am I just making that up?
I'm not sure. I thought Dundee United maybe. It could have been Hearts. That was obviously the 20, was it 2018, 2019
Oh,
period, was
sorry,
it?
we got him from Queen of the South. We got him from
Oh,
Queen of
was
the
it?
South.
Right, okay.
I remember him
Um,
scoring a cracking goal for somebody. I don't know who it was against, but I remember scoring him a cracking goal for Falkirk. But
mm.
aye, we got him. We got him from Queen of the South. There you go. So I think he's still playing with Albion Rovers by the looks of Wikipedia. So there you are.
Well, he's only 31,
There
so
you
you'd
go. So
hope so.
happy birthday, Lewis. And on the 1st of February, the one, the only, God himself. I mean, I thought God was born on the 25th of December, but it clearly is the 1st of February. Simon Stainrod, 67.
6-7. There we go.
6-7.
So, do you know, again, Simon, he shouldn't be 67. You still see him in his Hummel shirt with the slick back hair and the tan. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously, when we last saw him at his event a couple of years back, he's got a little bit more grey and the beard's there as
He's
well.
doing
But
it. Is he not doing the plough soon? I'm sure.
yes,
Remember,
he is.
remember
Yeah,
he's
it's
doing the.
March time, I think.
Aye, he's. I know Simon Stainrod at the plough. Things you never thought you would see, but aye,
No,
he's going to. I remember. I'm just double checking where
I think
if
it is
it's
the
still
plough.
happening. Yeah, it's definitely the plough. It's definitely the plough. So he'll be back in Falkirk soon enough. Hey, we should maybe jump on the bandwagon and grab him for a Falkirk Daft live. That'd be good. But no, I
Would
really.
be stealing that. Yeah, would be
We can't
stealing
steal. We
that.
can't steal that. But there you go.
No.
And James Sharp is also shares a birthday with Simon Stainrod on the first. Well, big James Sharp. Always remember him for the Local View season. Big ginger guy. Big hard
Yeah.
centre half. There you go.
Good throw in. Remember, he had a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
long
It did.
throw.
I
But
actually like James Sharp. He was a decent player. I thought he was all right.
I did all right.
So there you go. That's the birthdays this week. To the club news. I mean, we did most of it on Thursday just gone. Talked about the McGlynn situation. Obviously, there's been no more developments in that. Though I did see him at the Hearts game today, so maybe he's getting lined up for the Celtic job at the end of the season. But I saw him and Big Call were there today. What a shock! Big Call at the Hearts game. Obviously
just
doing analysis.
Aye, analysis. You can just tell though, like it would probably have been Cole having a conversation with Paul Smith. Can I take your ticket on Sunday?
So I saw them there. Actually, on that game, obviously it ended up 2-2. Good news for Falkirk though is obviously we've got Celtic next week. Austin Trusty suspended. It looks like Tierney picked up a knock as well. By the way,
Excellent. Yeah.
if Dane Murray and Anthony Ralston are the two replacements there, I'd be licking my lips if I were Barney Stewart. And I don't know who'll play against him. Probably Calvin Miller would be up against Tierney, so it would,
Yeah.
or Kyrell Wilson actually. So it would be
Yeah.
it would be up. So whoever goes in left back, I don't know if that boy Sriracha or whatever it is who they've got. So we'll talk about more obviously in the preview podcast. And
We will, but I think already I think we should be going there in full confidence and just have a go at them. I'm sure we will as well.
and you're going yourself, aren't you, you big scab?
No, listen, I never. I'm happy. I think I said it on the last podcast. I think there's always going to be a few hundred who were always going to go. I completely back the reasoning for it. By the way, I think the cost of the ticket is shocking. I really do. Like 36 and £33 for restricted and non-restricted views. Absolutely disgusting. But there was always going to be a percentage going. I believe ticket sales. So that listen, the boycott has worked and it is working because there's less than 200 tickets sold. So it's not going to be a huge crowd. But I think there was always going to be a few who were always going to go. But I think we talked about it last week, and I think there's been a little bit of movement online. It would be brilliant to see the team kind of either go off with a big Falkirk crowd at the stadium, or it'd be difficult probably at Parkhead for them to do it because security would be all over it. Because I know Celtic fans always surround the sort of when the team buses arrive. So I think that could lead to difficulties. But it might be an idea if they're doing it at Falkirk to sort of see the team off. But yeah, I granted there's less than 200 tickets sold just now, but I think there'll be another 100 or two, maybe even 200. Listen, Saturday's performance might change a few people's minds
Are you
about
just
that
going
we're all
because you'll
going.
have FOMO if we were to win? Is that why you're going?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I listen, you know me, I hate missing games when I can go. And as I say, I completely back the reason behind it. I think it is too expensive. And I'm glad that it's picked up the traction that they wanted But yeah, no, listen, I know everybody would, whether they go, whether they don't go, Falkirk get a result. There's always that, oh, that would have been amazing type thing. But people make their own decisions, and I think I completely get it. And I'm glad Falkirk are. I heard Jamie Swinney talking about back in the 25, and that's been really well received
Yeah.
in the press as well.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Good, enjoy it if you're heading on to the game. Living Staying tickets news very expect very soon on ticket sales for that as well. I expect midweek at Livy it'll be hopefully we'll take a decent enough crowd through there. I mean
I would think so.
Livy look are in big trouble at the moment. That actually didn't see Scott Arfield playing for them yesterday. I don't know if he's been injured or what have you.
Oh, I never noticed actually.
I know he went off at half time the week before, so I'll be interested to see. And obviously, that's a week on Wednesday. That, and I'm still waiting on words of how the Stenny tickets are going to look. That'll be about 2,100 tickets for that. Obviously, hospitality is happening at the McAnallys. We actually bumped into Crunchy, who had heard the podcast, and he'd heard his invite to McAnally Hospitality last week. So hopefully Crunchy's I did say I've got his number, so I might message him to see fancy coming round for a few drinks, Kevin.
Well, he seemed up for it when he came over to the table. He seemed up for it, and he was. I think the only caveat we said to him was, "Listen, as long if you can help us get a ticket, you're more than welcome." So
I know it's going to be a total scramble for that. I would expect everyone will want to go. I mean, like you said last week, the Sunday evening kickoff might put a few folk off it, but I do think it'll be a good day out, and I'm sure there'll be a few lines getting put in for the Monday morning as well. But yeah, so Stenny we'll find out this week probably what's happened with Stenny, which was 2 weeks today, as we record this on Sunday evening.
Yep.
So no, looking forward to that. But we have got a competition this week, Ross, and you can tell us more about that.
we do indeed, yes. So, for those that have maybe seen our socials in the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've shared a post on Facebook a couple of times, and it's on behalf of the Cami Shanks Community Foundation. So, a lot of Falkirk fans will be familiar with that charity. It's organised and run by Sean Pearson, big Falkirk fan as well, and he has donated some competition prizes for their 6th annual Burns Supper. Now, this isn't a traditional Burns supper. There's loads of hilarity. There's loads of comedians. It's just a really fun night, and that's going to be happening at the Plough Hotel on the 28th of February. And the competition we've got, John, is to win a group of 4 tickets. And get this, that includes 3 free drinks for each person and a page of raffle tickets as well. Now, how we're going to do the competition, it'll run from Monday the 26th of January to Sunday the 1st of February. And all you need to do is like the Cami Shanks Facebook page and like and share our post that we're going to put on the Falkirk Daft socials from Monday onwards. Now, if you are looking to get involved, please do enter the competition, but you can also buy tickets as well. Tickets are on sale right now, and it's £35 per person. But if you aren't successful in the competition, try and get along if you can, and you can contact Sean Pearson, and we'll be putting his details on the competition post as well.
There you go. So it sounds like a great night. And if you want to win tickets, just do what Ross said right there. Like and share, like we all podcasters do. So there you go. Keep out an eye out on the socials for that. And before we talk about Hibs, and we're desperate to talk about that game, thank you very much to Brian and the team at Behind the Wall. I was in there after the game last night, absolutely heaving, as expected. Drinks were flowing, laughs were had, lots of people excited to talk about the game. So great night in Behind the Wall. I was only in for an hour or so. Tried to get my arm twisted to stay a little bit longer by some of my friends, but I went down the road like a good boy. So yeah, that was cracking night in Behind the Wall. It is one of Falkirk's best pubs, of course. And Falkirk Daft Venom is there. Ross, you had friends up from down south. They sampled the Falkirk Daft Venom. What was their thoughts?
Yep, very nice, very nice. I don't think they were going to be able to drink it all night because, as we know, it's pretty sweet in it. But they absolutely loved it. We were at Behind the Wall twice yesterday. One before hospitality, and then later on last night as well. Place was really busy, as you said. Service fantastic as always by Lindsay and the team in the restaurant, and really good food, good few drinks as well.
Yeah, and loads of stuff happening behind the wall. Fleet and Rumours told you about that as well. Fleetwood Mac tribute act's going to be in the 31st of January. Quite fancy getting on to that, you know. That's next Saturday, isn't it? So my son's a big
Yes.
Fleetwood Mac fan, so I might. I'm not doing anything, so might trip on to that. The ABBA tribute night's happening on the 27th of March. My daughter would love that. And of course, they've got buses running now for Take That at Hampden in June, £15 return, which is a great offer. So if you fancy, if you've got a ticket for Take That at Hampden in June, £15 return from behind the wall sounds like a good. And I wonder if they'll
Isn't it?
do something around the Helix gigs as well. Actually, around the Faithless and the Ministry of Sound stuff at the Helix.
Yeah, that's a good shout as well. Yeah, that's not. I think that's quite good that there's stuff getting held there. I quite like stuff like that, especially in the summer.
I quite fancy the Ministry of Sound. I've
Yeah.
seen Faithless live. By the way, if you get a chance to go see Faithless live, they're incredible. But I think I might go and see the Ministry of Sound with the orchestra because that and just relive 1997 all over again. So yeah, did you ever get the Ministry? You wouldn't have, but the Ministry. Do you remember the Ministry of Sound albums like
Yeah, of course I
Judge
do. Yeah.
Jules, Boy
Uh,
George mixing? I
yeah,
remember
but
the kind of
it
Auburn
wasn't my
one.
thing.
Oh, amazing.
90, I was more of a no, that's why I call music kind of guy.
You're more a Spice Girls kind of guy,
I
Ross.
was, I was more of a Spice Girls.
Backstreet
Listen,
Boys.
take that,
Take
absolutely.
that. Yeah, you'll be in that bus to Hampden from behind the wall, no doubt. And of course, talking buses, the bus to Livingston's happening as well. It's £12.50 return. That's a week on Wednesday, as we said. Ross is going to be on the bus that night, aren't you?
Yes, yes, I am. 6:30 it leaves. So phone up and get your tickets for the Livingston bus now.
Yeah, and check out everything that Behind the Wall have got, behindthewall.co.uk. Right, been eager, we've been like a coiled spring waiting to talk about this game, and let's do it now in the company of the architecture extraordinaire. It's Ryan Marshall.
Evening, chaps. How are we?
There you
Good
go.
evening.
Apparently one of only three chartered architects in the town, Ryan.
Yeah, indeed. There's kind of varying services that other people offer, but certainly in terms of full accreditation and full chartership, we are one of the only three.
And do
I
you
know,
think,
I know you can't say it, Ryan, but John and I hate the other two. So
I
just
honestly
go to
can't.
RMAR
Although
Architecture.
these other architects, I
Well,
bet they're not even Falkirk supporters. Do you know what I mean? I bet you they're like Rangers and Celtic supporters. So I bet you any Falkirk supporter out there looking to get an extension or any projects and get 10% off by quoting Falkirk Daft wants to speak to a good Falkirk supporter like yourself, Ryan.
absolutely, absolutely. And we've got a good few Falkirk fans actually that are good clients of ours. So it's been a good season to have that chat with clients.
Absolutely,
Good.
absolutely,
Long may it
absolutely.
continue.
Jim, out of interest, do you know who the other architects in the town support?
Uh, yes, yeah. I used to
Are,
work with
are
one
they
of
Falkirk supporters,
I
Ryan?
used to work with one of them who generally they don't support football, but one of the guys there was a big Rangers fan, shall we say?
Well,
So,
there you go. There you go. Just dingy him, go to Ryan.
lovely guy, a great guy.
Oh, great guy, but not a Falkirk supporter. So if you are a Falkirk supporter, go to Ryan for all your architectural needs. Ryan, we're talking also, you were out and you were in the 1876 lounge yesterday. How rough are you feeling this evening?
It's taken a wee while to pull myself together. It was a great day out. Scott, that was on the podcast last week, got me along to the lounge yesterday with some of his friends who, funnily enough, actually were a couple of Hibees there, so they obviously had a great day out, enjoying the game as well. But no, it was good. It was really good. It was the first time I actually been along the lounge. Good setup, really good setup. Obviously, been to different versions of hospitality before. I know that you guys obviously do that regularly in the lounge, but you said your other thing that you were doing. But no, it was good. It was really good. I think certainly from speaking to people there, the consensus was it was a good setup and it was a good atmosphere as well.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. And the more pressing question is, what song did you sing on the toll booth karaoke?
I think the problem was what songs had been all singing at all with karaoke. That was half the problem, I think. I went on. We celebrated a wee bit later than I thought would have done, but it was all good fun.
You didn't end up in XOXO, did you, Ryan? A man of your age and vintage.
Do you know what? My brother-in-law tried to coerce me to go down, but I think I had my sensible hat on to get the taxi. So it was either turn right or turn left. So we ended up turning left to the taxi link, so that was good.
Well
Good.
played, friend. Well played. There you go. Listen, thanks for coming on, looking through the Hibs game. We know your Falkirk story, Ryan, but we're desperate to talk about this game, so let's do that right now. Couple of changes, obviously. One in fourth, Philip Lisa, we know had picked up an injury. He limped off against Hearts last week. So Keelan Adams, we all know what he can do. He came straight into there, and not surprisingly, Kyrie Wilson, after his performance against Hearts, came into the side because he obviously had a wee tactical switch with Henry playing there, but Kyrell came on for Henry, and it was good to see Lewis Nielsen back on the bench as well. Ben Parkins, however, misses out. Just in case you're worried, he rolled his ankle in training the day before the game. And I tell you what, I think that was... I mean, I don't want to say it's a blessing, so poor Ben, but I don't think Barney would have started... I mean, who knows, Ben would have maybe taken the chances that Barney did, but I've got a funny feeling that Ben would have started in front of Barney if he had been available. So I don't think it seems to be a major injury. I think it was just he's maybe swollen, his ankle swollen. So hopefully back in the not too distant future. But Barney played up front, and we'll talk about him just in a minute. What do you make of the team going out there, Ross?
Yeah, no, I was really happy, to be honest. Obviously, we knew Philip was going to be out injured, but I was not had no issues at all with Keelan coming in. We know what Keelan can do both defensively and offensively. He was fantastic yesterday doing both.
Stephen McGinn
Kyrell,
actually singled him out in his post match as well.
oh, I've not had the chance to listen to that yet,
Yeah,
so that'll be good to
we'll
that'll
hear
be
that
good
a
to
bit
listen
later. Yeah.
to. And as you said, Kyrell did very well in the second half and almost every minute of extra time as well. Because let's remember, he only came off because Brian Graham was subbed on to take a penalty against Hearts. So
Yeah.
Kyrell was fantastic too. It's a sore one for Ben. We heard obviously just before the team lines came up that Ben was going to be missing. He has only just rolled it. I saw there was someone on Facebook had said, "Oh, he's out for 2 months and all this shit." I can't be bothered with
I have to hold
folks
my hand
stirring the
up as
shit.
well, by the way, because this might have, I don't know if this has been my doing, but Gordon Hall, Pinks and Prince fame, came up to me and he misheard me. I said he'd rolled his ankle, and Gordon thought I'd said he broke his ankle. So he's then away telling every other table like a wee sweetie wife that Ben Parkinson had broke his ankle. So, and I had to go back and go, I said, he just rolled it. He said, all right. And then he went back around the table and said, by the way, he's just rolled his ankle, not broke it.
So that's how it's ended up on the internet then.
It might be
He was
Gordon's
out.
fault or my fault. But there
Yeah.
you go.
But listen, it sounds like he's going to be back for the Celtic game, and the same with Philip as well. He's going to be back for Celtic, so all good
Selection headaches ahead of that game
indeed.
as well then. I mean, Ryan, we started off the game like very well, I thought. I mean, like, again, we just had our foot on the accelerator right from the first whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was interesting actually speaking to. I kind of mentioned that the guys we were with, a couple of Hibs fans there, and they were a wee bit apprehensive before the game because they didn't really know which Hibs team were going to turn up. And the chat that they were having before is just how important the wing backs are. I think Hibs were missing a couple of people. I think the Cadden brothers for Hibs normally provide a bit of width in their fullback positions, but certainly when you look at Keelan coming in and Leon on the other side, the strength that we've got in the fullback positions and actually down both flanks stem a lot of the stuff coming in behind us. So it was great to see Keelan come back in and hitting the ground running. I think before he lost his place after Phil came in, he'd looked a wee bit up and down. I think that wee spell out has probably done him the world of good, to be honest with you. But he certainly came back in, fitted in, and was absolutely flying yesterday. So I think it was a fairly seamless transition. I think that's just the quality and the depth of the squad that we've got.
100%, 100%. I mean, Keelan did play well yesterday, Ross.
He did. He was great. As Ryan said, he's came in. We were. I don't think there was too many concerns about him going to be playing because, as Ryan said, he was phenomenal up until he's knock, and he's obviously had a bit of a spell out the team. But listen, as you said earlier, John, we've got real competition for places, and if the players that come in don't perform, then they're
Yeah.
out the team. And it just means that every single player that is now in a Falkirk jersey has to be on their A game. And that's fantastic for us as fans. It's fantastic for the team. But yeah, no, listen, Keelan did nothing wrong yesterday, defensively or offensively. In fact, I'll critique one because I know we're not there yet, but I think he should have scored with his left foot curler
Yeah.
in the first half. But otherwise, seamless.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before that, however, that big chance for Keelan, we got our goal. Calvin Miller, again, just at it. He was at it, terrorised that down that left flank yesterday, and obviously had 2 assists in the game. First one, just really well worked goal. Like, Ross, it's been coming for a while. He gets down, he gets the ball into the danger area, and there's Barney Stewart doing what he does. I'm going to put this under the Brian Graham learning tree, in between the posts, as every good number 9 in the box, tap in for him. Great goal.
Yeah, if you look at Barney's goals yesterday, I think that was probably the furthest one out.
Easiest hat trick he's ever had.
Yeah, but listen, that's exactly where he needs to
Yeah.
be. And how many times over the years, like Ryan Chippen as well, how many times have we been waiting for a striker that's just not going to fart about? He's going to sit in the 6 yard box and put the ball in the net.
Aye, absolutely. I mean, I think there's two aspects to it. I think Calvin Miller now being back on the left is a big thing. I mean, we've obviously moved them round about. We kind of flitted the inverted wingers, certainly last season when we had Ethan Ross and Calvin on opposite flanks, cutting in and hitting. But I think seeing Calvin flourish a wee bit more maybe in his natural side and having that presence where obviously we missed Ross McKeever being out, Brian Graham filled in for a bit, and Brian Graham's strengths are in the box. But certainly Barney's brought a bit more mobility, and I think he's also brought the fans' belief and excitement.
Yeah.
He is a bit of a cult hero and fastly, his stature in the game's obviously growing. So that expectation that he's going to do something, I think is just growing, and it's exciting times for him.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's the thing. You say cult hero. I think it's obviously the story behind Barney. And he just seems like a big. Having met him a couple of times, he's just a big, likable lump of a laddie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lovely, lovely boy. You just want to ruffle his hair and just go, he's just such a lovely lad. And that's why, I think the fans have taken to him so much. Even though he did go to Dunfermline, you were worried about the reaction he would get back when he came back to the club, because there was a lot of people like Ross who were very unhappy with the situation. But he's come back and it's just like he hadn't left.
I'm sure Ross never mentioned that a couple of times in media forums.
See, the thing is, right, and I hate.
Oh, he's here. Hold on, what's that? Here, is that a reverse
No,
light? Is that a reverse light?
No, listen, in hindsight, right, he has come back a better player, so I'm never going to disagree with that. At the time, you mentioned there about worried about the reaction. My thought on that was because of the reaction when he left, because there was an awful lot of fat, and this was my biggest issue, is I felt either John McGlenn or the club had put Barney in a bit of a position, because it was never going to be, listen, it's not Barney's call. Barney's not going to have a huge say in where he goes, especially on loan. But at the time, there was a bit of a genuine concern that the fans might have a bit of an issue. But as we've seen, listen, you're right, he is a big, likeable guy. He's hit the ground running. He says all the right things. He's doing all the right things. And I hear there will be a really good Barney announcement in the next 24 to 40 hours.
Oh, there you go. But John McGlynn did allude to the fact that, I think he said in one of his interviews, Barney's probably the least paid player in the Scottish Premiership.
Yeah.
And because I guess, coming from university football, the club have went, we're taking a gamble on this guy. And obviously we're probably, in terms of budgets, the worst payers in the league. I don't think that's there'll be boys on really good money. I would think Scott Bain will obviously be on. I would think now that Arfield's left, I would suspect that Scott Bain's our highest earner at the club. You would assume so. I would assume so. But you look at that level, then you go, well, Barney's probably the least paid at the club. just in terms of his age, where he's come from, and then you go, well, you know, and if we do it, I think it's safe to assume he's probably one of the worst players. So if he has a new deal on the table, it's well deserved.
He'll just be raging that he never negotiated it this week rather than last week.
Absolutely, absolutely. But big man got his first goal. You mentioned the Keelan Adams chance when he probably could have done a wee bit better when he got on, clipped inside, and just that little bit of curl just missing at the end of it.
He did everything right, Keelan.
Yeah.
Like, beat two men, and you're thinking, right, just slot this away, son. And just a bit wide, unfortunately.
Something I'd like to put a shout out before that happened, though, Ross, is Scott Bain. Brilliant save from Grant Hanley. Just showing his class. I mean, Scott Bain, again, had very, very little to do yesterday. There was a chance that kind of deflected into the side net, which was a great block from Brad Spencer as well, by the way. But apart from that, Scott Bain was relatively, uncalled on, and but that save was, again, just Scott Bain doing Scott Bain stuff. Great save.
It was. He, as you said, he didn't have a lot to do at all, but he keeps himself, you watch him, he keeps himself alert, he keeps himself, and he does, it's not as if he doesn't touch the ball. Like he obviously, like one of the guys who's up from Leeds, who's sitting beside me, he's like, listen, your goalkeeper looks as if he's more of a centre mid. And if you think back to especially in the first half, he saw so much of the ball as we sort of passed the ball to try and make wee triangles, and it was working. So, yeah, exactly. So it's not just the saves he makes, but his overall contribution is huge.
Absolutely. We didn't actually talk. Let's go back. Just rewinding back to the first goal. Have you seen it? Have you seen it back? I don't know how that's no offside, by the way. I mean, it took 4.5 minutes. I've not seen it with the lines, but on the freeze frame, I went, Jesus Christ.
I've not seen it with the lines either. I don't know if one of that version's out there, but I think one of the furthest defender centre half is playing him on, but it must have been tight. Listen, they took ages to come to it.
Certainly, listen to Falkirk, Josh and Drew on Falkirk TV. They were convinced it was offside, and like you hear their surprise when it was actually announced that it was onside. 4.5 minutes it took to check it, though. Jesus Christ.
Ryan, you were sitting along that end, weren't you?
Yeah,
what was your angle?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. So obviously, with the lounge, the tickets are along the other end. We were actually pretty much bang in line. To be honest, the key thing, there wasn't that much protest from the Hibs guys. It was like they all stopped and they were just a bit kind of, we've just kind of ball watched and it's came in.
Yeah.
It looked tight. You could have easily been given either way, I think. So it'd be interesting to see if the lines are drawn and where that is shown. But no, thankful it was given, and it set us off for the rest of the game and just set the tone.
Absolutely. Second goal. Let's talk about that. What a team goal it was. Started from the back. Scott Bain, Dylan Tate, Leo McCann, all involved. Brilliant header out by Barney. Was the ball over the line? I didn't, from where we were sitting, Ross, I thought it was just in. I've seen a few pictures on social media from Hibs supporters saying it was out. What were you guys' take on it?
Like you, and I'm sure Ryan had a very similar view, because Ryan was just along from us. It looked as if some of the ball was over the line, but obviously it's not going to be potentially fully over. But Calvin, man, the speed he got up.
Yeah,
a great rounded, great header from Barney to put it into his path as well.
I think it was. It worked in Calvin's benefit. I think he was up against Grant Hanley in the sprint to get it past the line, because anybody else is a wee bit more mobile maybe would have taken Calvin out. But I think the fact that it was Grant Hanley just meant he was never getting there in the first place. So,
see, on that basis though, Ryan, he not only had to run past Grant Hanley, but he also had to run past the caravan that he was towing as well.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin getting to the back, that's the great thing. And we were speaking in Crunchy, it'll be a massive. I bet you Crunchy. He was never keen Callum Morrison Crunchy, but I bet he quite enjoys watching Calvin Miller play, because getting beyond your man, getting to the byline and getting a ball into the box like Calvin did in that. And I have to say, take nothing away from Barney's finish, superb. He's played the ball out to him, he's got into the box, and just that wee opening your foot just to tuck it away past the goalkeeper. It was an exceptional finish from Barney, and probably go down as being one of the, in terms of team goals this season, it will be up there as one of the goals of the season for us, I think.
No, I totally agree with you, and I think I don't know if I made mention of this earlier on. I don't think I did, but I think when you look at all three of Barney's goals, the one big thing that he's now doing now that he didn't do probably in the Championship was that he would obviously come out and try and get a flick on or hold the ball up, but for me, he wasn't quick enough getting into the box. Whereas now he's like, right, as soon as I've laid this off, I'm getting my arse in that box to try and get a shot off, and that is how all three goals essentially came about. The third goal, which we'll come to, I know that was another good team goal as well, John, but the second one was beautiful.
Yeah, exceptional stuff, exceptional stuff. And right before half time, Ryan, great time to score. But, Hibs were going to change things, and they switched from the kind of 3-4-3 that we were playing and switched to a kind of more 4-3-3. Though I don't think this was when they started giving us a wee bit of problems in that first part of the second half, I thought.
I think they're always going to come out probably after a bit of roasting for David and the Hibs management team, putting their tails up to see what they can get. And it's one of those ones where they come out the traps early, try and put a bit of pressure in, fair enough to get their goal. But again, they weren't actually creating very much. The goal came for the corner that Dylan's obviously cleared it, taking the safety route first. And if you're critical of anything, we are a wee bit soft with set pieces coming in against us. And that's just, for all the plaudits we get for the play and how well we actually play, we're still a wee bit too soft with the set pieces.
I turned to my father-in-law when they got the corner actually, and I said, if you're going to score today, it will be from a set piece.
Yeah.
The Nostradamus or that. Ryan, do you know the blind woman from South America who predicts all the stuff? What's her name?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy, John.
Right, I'm going to find out. But anyway, I turned round to my father-in-law and said, "You're going to score for it." And right enough, Rocky Bushiri scored from the corner kick. I want someone. I'm going to speak to football experts, zonal marking. At one point, I was watching, and Finn Yeats was marking Kieran Bowie and Grant Hanley, two of the most dangerous people from set piece. He was standing beside the two of them, and I'm like, what is going on with this? I honestly, please, there must be someone listening to this podcast. If not, I'm going to go and ask like one of the guys at Super Scoreboard, one of the ex-pros, or one of the coaches. I'll ask Big Marvin, though I don't know if I should be asking him about anything at the moment, how useless Livingston are. But what is the deal with zonal marking? Someone explain it to me, because I don't understand. And it's been our Achilles heel for about 2 or 3 seasons now. If you look at the percentages, I bet you we lose, in terms of set pieces, that is the main place we lose goals from, is set pieces.
I've got a counter argument, right? So
here we go.
Well, if you think about it, zonal marking,
Mm-hmm.
each person is responsible for their little bit of area, right?
Right.
So it's not zonal marking that's the issue. It's somebody not doing their job. Now, when you watch the goal back, that big fella has got 3 Falkirk players round him, yet he still gets his head on the ball. So is that him doing brilliantly? Could be, but actually we've got 3 players there that should have been getting that ball first. So I think it's too easy to blame. Oh, we're losing goals for this. That we're not. It's not as if they're like the boy got a free header off. We were just not strong enough. That's where my thinking. That's where my issue is. Right, we're just not strong enough in the box at times.
I think it looked as though he was up against Keelan in a bit of a tussle, and he was just stronger than Keelan to win that header. The other thing actually was quite interesting was it seems like Dylan Tate's on a post, usually the near posts in the last couple of games, and both times when the corners came in, the balls went to the near post, the Celtic goal and the Hibs goal, and it's like we'd come off the post too quickly. I don't know if that's part of the tactics, I don't know if that's part of the training, but it's like we lose the goals at the corner of the posts where there is a player. So it's always a bit frustrating, that.
It is frustrating. It's frustrating me for the life out of me. I'm going to get an answer on zonal market. I'll return with my homework podcast, and we can talk and get the dissection of zonal marking versus man marking. But anyway, 2-1, and at that point I think, all right, this could be a bit sticky, but why think like that? Falkirk are just brilliant at the moment. Calvin Miller very close to a free kick, which was a good save from the keeper, getting it onto the bar. And then we had another chance with Kyrell, and then Barney again. He's thinking, oh, he's going to get his hat trick when he had that one just in the turn, which just went wide.
So
And then,
close, that one.
I know. Then we rang the changes, obviously, as well. Louis Marsh came on for Finn. I was actually I thought Louis might have started the game. I wonder if he will start against Celtic on Sunday, actually. I thought Finn was a bit quiet. Good performance.
Yeah, I thought he had a good game.
Yeah,
I thought he had a good game.
But I think probably that's because I was looking at the players around him. I thought everyone was really, really good yesterday. Can I just put a special mention out to Dylan Tate? We're going to get into Falkirk Daft rating. I don't think it's going to be any surprise who wins that this week. But Dylan Tate was exceptional. Dylan Tate was unbelievable, and there's rumours and murmurings of like other clubs interested in him, but I really hope there must be a deal on the table for that guy because he's exceptional. We talk about he's the most fouled player in the league. Obviously, got picked up a few yesterday as well. Outstanding stuff from Dylan's son. But we're about to talk about the third goal, and he was
What a ball!
What a ball through! Just first time, just saw Louis Marsh's run, and he was doing it all day, defending. Always looks up, Dylan. Always looks for the forward pass, and him and Brad just in that pivot just works so well together. One goes, one stays. But Dylan I thought was exceptional yesterday. I thought that's probably one of the best games he's had in a Falkirk jersey. He was outstanding from throughout the game, and he's very unlucky to lose out in Falkirk Daft rated this week.
He's been so consistent this season. We hear there is a deal available, an extended deal for him. I really, really, really hope he signs it. As there was chat yesterday about a couple of different other Scottish and English teams that are after him. But listen, what will be. But it would be amazing if he signed an extension because he's been brilliant for Falkirk. But we've been brilliant for him as well. And he was just he's just different class. He really is. And him and Brad, they work so well together in that middle of the park. But every player's just complimenting each other just now. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and that the third goal, Ryan, just bit of class, really. Louis Marsh getting in behind there from Dylan Tate's pass, and again an assist for Louis Marsh, and again Barney just had to tap it into the net.
It's just movement. It's just good movement through the whole team. Everybody's moving forward. We're not passing it sideways. We're not passing it backwards. We're always on the front foot. Barney's obviously made the right runs, and it's good. It's good striker's instinct that you wonder if Brian Graham's had a hand in that, or how his coaching has developed him certainly through the first season. But that instinctive movement and the ball across, it's one of those ones where we've been crying out for that for a while. We've tried to play beautiful football and passing in the net at times, but those are the ones that you just want to stick it in the back of the net, and we've thankfully now got somebody that Barney's shown the potential to do that.
Do you not think we're a bit now like Happy Gilmour? Right, you remember in Happy Gilmour, the film, right? And he can hit it long. He looks great, but he can putt worth a fuck. And then he just eventually practices,
yeah.
And it's like, oh, Happy learned how to putt, and now he's amazing. I think that's just
I love that comparison, Ross. I love that comparison. But going back to the Brian Graham thing, it's like, obviously, I talk about the Brian Graham learning tree. I do think Brian will have a hand, in working with the strikers. So we'll see Ross back soon enough. I think he's not far away. Ben's obviously there now. Barney's there. And Brian Graham will have a massive part in bringing on all these players. I really hope, I don't know what will happen with Brian at the end of the season. I think he's got a year's, potential extension. Whether he continues as a player, but I would like to see Brian Graham hang around the club as a coach. He's obviously had the managerial experience with Partick Thistle Women. He was in interim charge at Thistle last season as well. I mean, I'm sure that there'll be clubs that will look at Brian Graham as a potential manager, probably further down Championship, League One maybe. But it would be great to hold on to Brian Graham, because I think he could be an asset. And I think, you see, like Ross is saying, not always the spell in the Championship with Dunfermline done Barney good. I do think Brian Graham will have a big hand in what happened to him yesterday. Just continue.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think you can't buy that level of experience. He's been with so many clubs, and throughout his career, he's obviously put the ball in the back of the net. That's what he's known for, and passing on that skill and that experience onto strikers that are young. We've got guys at 21, 22 years of age that haven't had much in the way of senior experience, and to learn from somebody like Brian Graham, that's ultimately a very professional player, who's looked after himself in his late 30s. I'm sure they're picking up things there, just even in the background, to how he looks after himself away for the club, how he keeps himself fit and does the right things, and that's just a mentality thing that he's passing on.
So what we're saying is Brian Graham is the Chubbs Peterson to Barney.
I really hope people listening or watching this podcast have watched Happy Gilmour,
because they won't understand the fucking thing if they don't know.
Tap, tap, tap it in. That's what Barney did yesterday. Just tap, tap it in.
All three. You're pretty sick, Chubbs.
Brilliant. And the fourth goal, Louis Marsh. He's now got 2 songs now, Louis Marsh. I do like the old school. He'll give us a go, and that's not all. He's Louis Marsh. I do like that old school kind of chant. Still waiting for a song for Leon, by the way. Come on, Ultras. Come on. Make it happen. Though someone did suggest that we could take the Argument song and then turn it to Leon McCann, but I don't think it scans as well.
Could we not just, since we know about his
massive
physical attributes, could we not just rehash the Eddie May?
Leon McCann's got a massive cock. Yeah, it works. That works, yeah. So there you go, Ultras, if any of you are listening, rebadge the Eddie May song to Leon McCann. And we're away to the races, and I'm sure Leon would enjoy that song. I don't think his missus, probably sitting in the stands, would enjoy it as much. Ladies' Day's coming up, by the way, by everyone, so I wonder if Leon McCann will be venturing up into the 1836 lounge that day, and questions will be asked. So there you go. But
by us, probably.
There you go. But goal 4 comes again. Louis Marsh gets his goal. Well, do we give it to Louis Marsh? Because I think.
No, we have to. It was on target. Of course, we have to.
It was on target. It's never going in if Grant Hanley touches it. But it was given his own goal to Grant Hanley. We're giving it to Louis Marsh. Are we on the goals panel here? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Louis Marsh gets the goal for that, and he did look busy when he came on, Ryan.
He's good. He's, like I say, his movement's good. He's also came with a good pedigree. It'd be good to see him. Like we kind of mentioned earlier on, potentially starting against Celtic, just to see what he can bring when he gets, because it's always, I think, difficult for players to come in throughout a game, certainly the last 20-30 minutes, or try to get up to speed of the game. He done obviously very well yesterday, but he's the type of player I think will get people off their seats. I think John had mentioned when he signed that he is very much a kind of natural number 10, the one that can take the ball past people, so we want to see that. And I think when you've got games that open up, certainly against Celtic and stuff, where they play a bit more expansive football rather than being camped in, then I think that's the type of game that a player like him will shine.
Yeah,
I agree, and I think it's a big week with the 3 away games, and there'll be the squad will get minutes. I don't think there'll be a massive shuffle across the 3 games. I think John's quite consistent with his lineup, but you wouldn't be shocked if there was maybe 2 or 3 changes for each fixture.
I wonder. I'd wonder. Does Adams keep his? If Philippe's available on Sunday, does Keelan keep his place against Celtic?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I think if we're all sitting here like we were talking yesterday, I think Philippe is maybe the stronger defender. But I think Keelan, and I know Philippe is great going forward as well, but I think Keelan is almost that. He's more of a winger than he is actually a fullback. So they give you different things. But in terms of what I think John will do, I think once Philippe is fit, I think Philippe will come back into the team.
Right. We'll talk about it in our preview episodes, which will be out on Thursday. Hoping to get Simon Donnelly to talk over the Celtic side of things. So fingers crossed that'll be out on Thursday. Right, full-time whistle went 4-1. What a game. Let's hear what Stephen McGinn had to say after the match.
Stephen, what a week it's been. First beating Hearts in the Scottish Cup, and now beating their Edinburgh rivals today. I don't think anybody saw that scoreline on the cards.
No, the biggest challenge for us coming into the game was not to be too high. We had a fantastic effort, really good performance at Hearts. It was a tough night, and don't do all that to then drop off. Can you go and replicate it? And I think from minute one we set the tone. The amount of work the boys did for each other off the ball set the tone for the whole afternoon, and we know we've got good players. We know we can sort the off ball stuff, that in possession we're a really good team, and I thought they just got stronger as the afternoon went on. Some really big individual performances, but building on probably that, really good team work ethic.
Obviously it's been a really good run of performances. Now playing teams, 2-3 times, and the performance is just getting better every time. Just a wee marker of how far we've come.
Yeah, I mean, the two previous Hibs games, the one out there was like a basketball match. It was a really athletic game, and I think the one at Easter Road, we just didn't get going at all in the first half. And they've got good players, the quality players, and we went quite at it, and we were rightly 2-0 down the way we performed in the first half. So we knew that we had to be at our best, really stop their good players influencing the game, and within that, boys had jobs to stop some of the good players influencing the game, and barring one or two moments in the game where just switching off, I thought they carried their task out brilliantly.
With how tough the fixtures this month and next month were looking, how important is that momentum?
Yeah, big. I think it's just, we spoke about it early in the season. Sometimes it probably sounds like an excuse, but the boys needed to believe. Boys needed to believe that they belonged at the level. A lot spoken about the journey they've came from. Sometimes it can be a bit like, what am I doing here? Am I good enough for this? Self-doubt. We've started round 3 of the Premier League campaign, and I do think they feel like they belong here, and we're seeing the same type of performances that have happened under the manager for the last couple of years.
Speaking of player journeys, there's an incredible one, an incredible story coming from tonight with Barney Stewart getting a hat-trick. His first 3 goals in the Premiership after where he was 12 years ago. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and just before I go on to wax lyrical about Barney, I want to give a special mention to Caelan Adams. There's been a lot of noise around Philip Lisa's performances, and for the first time since he came here, Caelan's had a bit of a challenge to get back into the team, and having a similar type journey to Barney, and I thought he was outstanding all afternoon. And Barney's just such a popular figure in there. The boys love him to bits, and that is, I keep repeating myself, self-confidence. I mean, he scored 3 brilliant forward goals. He's been there in the right place. He's taken them all away so ruthlessly, but he was such a hard defender to play against all afternoon. I mean, that's good players he's playing against. That's full internationals in the back line, and he made it uncomfortable for them all afternoon. And he can be super proud of what he done today, and as I say, the boys are so happy for him.
Yeah, waxing lyrical about Barney and obviously Caelan as well, and the journey. And I do think it's really interesting because, see, when you look, I guess you go back to the start, the first game against Dundee United, you can just see the belief as the seasons went on, saying, all right, okay, League One Falkirk, we're now Premiership Falkirk. And you've seen the belief in the likes of Calvin Miller, I think, especially, Brad Spencer, Dylan Tate. The belief has just grown and grown and grown. Liam Henderson as well. I mean, these boys have just grown into themselves and realised we deserve to be here. And Stephen McGinn, they talks about it there, and that's been so important. And now Barney's starting to get that fever now as well, and going, right, well, I'm in the Premier League here, and I deserve to be here. And he went and proved it yesterday with a hat-trick. Unbelievable.
100%, and I think Stephen's right. By the way, just how good is it listening to Steve McGinn as well?
Again, I know it's hopefully it's further down the line, but for me, and I've said it on this podcast before, it's the next Falkirk manager. He's the next Falkirk. For me, he's the next Falkirk manager. But
yeah,
hopefully that's far away. Keep your hands off Aberdeen. I did see John McGinn's daughter yesterday. I should have passed on. Tell your ma Aberdeen's freezing. You know, you didn't want to have to drive that distance up to see your dad and your mom. You know, you just like stay in Falkirk. It's great. It's great.
They love it here. They love it here. No, I don't think there's any chance I'm going to Aberdeen. He loves it in Falkirk too much. But I think going back to the point that Stephen was making, yeah, we probably do forget that Keelan is in a similar situation, playing low tier football, working in Costa Coffee. A nice moment on that match ball yesterday because as Ryan had Barney and Finn in the 1876, we had them in the Brockville Lounge as well, and he brings a match ball in, and as people know, the players sign it, don't they? And Keelan had actually written from one college. I don't know if he said
from one uni wanker to another.
Was it college wanker to another college?
Yeah, it was one uni wanker to another.
That's brilliant. Like just fair play to the two of them, and listen, we are here on merit. We're now showing why we're here, and European football is on the horizon.
The Wayne plane might be motoring its way up the runway. Yeah. But I know, and do you know what? You do see it as well, and I've noticed this on Instagram today. And you know, he was saying, and we said how likeable Barney is. Every single player I've seen on Instagram, and I follow them all. I'm all over that. I'm like a wee stalker. Every single player to a man has put up like a forward on Barney's. The SPFL put it up, and every one of them has messaged like the go on, my son. And it just shows the team spirit and the togetherness that group of players have with each other. You know, Barney came in last season and he's ingratiated himself into the group, and you know they all seem to love him as well, as much as we all love him in the stands. So really good to see, really good.
What was the reception for him like in the 1876 lounge, Ryan? He obviously got a standing ovation when he came into ours as well. Was that replicated?
Yeah, absolutely. A good rendition of Barney Army was ringing out, and Finn obviously was there to wind him up a bit as well. So it was good. You know, you can tell the camaraderie between the guys. The thing that slightly annoys me, because I think we've still gone on about it, and it's a good story. But I think we need to ditch this whole Falkirk Week 1 team thing. I think we need to now start saying, no, Falkirk top 6 team and where we take it, because I think that was a good part of the story to get us where we are, but we're not there now. We are a top 6 team now, so we need to start believing and talking ourselves up rather than saying, oh, look at us, we Falkirk doing punching too high. We're not punching too high, we're punching exactly where we should be punching. And I think that's now coming through in the belief in the team, because the second half of the season they've started to believe in themselves. And I think, you know, John McGlynn and Smudger and to a big point there, McGinn as well, they've done so well at integrating new players and just blending the team as it's went on. You know, the more we've progressed, the better quality that we've added into the team, and it's been seamless.
Absolutely. Let's see what you had to say about the match. Stephen Martin kicks off. I wonder if it's Stevie. It will be Stevie that played for us in the game against the Falkirk football fans and training. I'm pretty sure it will be. Can't be more than one Stevie Martin in Falkirk. Anyway, he goes, was in the fan zone pre-game, and when we heard that Parkinson's out, we were very nervous, have to admit. However, some young boy called Leighton stepped up on the stage pre-game and proudly announced 3-1 Falkirk, Barney hat-trick. Thinking, aye, right, no chance, but how right was that young man? What innovation that boy got after the game. Brilliant. So well done, Leighton. Like Rostradamus there, nailed it and actually called a Barney hat-trick. Well done, son.
Love it. Linda Saunders, there were times that we looked ferocious on Saturday. Scary.
Yeah, Andy White is the one and only Andy White. He's one of Falkirk's leading scorers in Europe, I'll have you know. He says it doesn't get much better than that. Barney was sensational, as were the whole team. Enjoy these days, Bairns fans.
Indeed. Nick Rose says Barney takes the credit, and rightly so, but Dylan Tate was fantastic today.
Yeah.
He made the ugly work look good. Sure, I recall someone on the podcast a few weeks back saying Falkirk would give someone a doing. That was it.
Yes, that would be you, Ross. You can take credit for that one.
I will.
Anna Hendry says, love this team, while Scott McDonald, he was our guest pundit last week, yes, it doesn't get much better than this season as a Falkirk supporter. Saviour every minute of it, absolutely.
Billy Martin says, thought we were outstanding all over the pitch. Special mention to Calvin Miller. Feel like when he's on his game, we just don't get beat. What a team, and what a time to be a Falkirk supporter.
Yeah, I've been talking about a lot of other supporters about this. I mean, you can't be this is the best team to support in Scotland over the last 3 years. There's no arguing against it. It's been an absolute outstanding time to support Falkirk. And finally, Jamie Marr says, Edinburgh clubs completed it, mate. There we go. Should we even discuss Falkirk Daft rating, or are we just going to give it to Barney? Scott,
there's loads of note. There's loads
again.
Of
I think we've got to give Miller, Tate mentions. I mean, Brad was on it yesterday as well. Had some.
Keelan was fantastic.
Keelan, you know, we can talk about Kendall and Conor Allen at the back because they're just always brilliant. Leo, they were all just fucking brilliant yesterday. But we've got to give it to one. And hat trick, come on, you've got to give him the hat trick. The big man himself, Barney Stewart. Well done. First Falkirk Daft rated of the season. So well done to big Barney. Dafties, got Dafties, anyone?
I don't know if Ryan's got one, but I've got one.
I've got one.
I wonder if it's the same thing. I'm going to vote for you, John.
Well, what? What for?
For giving your son a gaff on Friday night.
Oh no, I've not even talked about this. This is it, right? So yes, my son had a gaff. That's what the kids call an empty.
I hate that word, by the way.
I know.
What happened to party?
Right. So it had exactly an empty. That was the kind of. Would you call it an empty?
I would have called an empty.
An empty or a party.
Aye, but I left 16-year-olds, and we were upstairs. Thank God we were. I won't talk about what happened. It just wasn't very pleasant. Let's just say, I'll tell you, Ross, I've told you the story. Ryan, I'll tell you next time I see you in the pub. All I would say as a parent, don't let 16-year-old boys loose in your house, right? Because it's just going to end in trouble. That's all I'll say. If you see me about the stadium, I can give you the full detailed, gory story of what happened that night. But yes, I would generally accept the Dafty of the award. But from a football perspective, I would like to nominate the Hibs Tifo. Now, there was a message went out beforehand going, this is our first away Tifo we've done in I don't know how many years. Let's make it a good one. And then I went out and I was expecting this, something from the Polish leagues hanging from the stadium and some sort of fireworks sort of display, and then went out and it was just a bunch of people waving flags. So
did you see the wee boy at 4-1 though? The wee boy at the front just waving his white flag. I was too fucking late for that, son.
But yeah, I'm willing to take the Dafty. Unless Ryan, you've got.
The only one for me is Grant Hanley because he had an absolute stinker. And
by the way, and I know why Grant Hanley will go to the World Cup because he's one of the guys that got him there. But Liam Henderson is head and shoulders above Grant Hanley, and you've got to look at I suspect the Hearts centre half Stuart Finlay and Craig Halkett, who are both very good as well, should be on the plane before Grant Hanley. But Grant will go because he's,
loyal to his guys.
Steve Clark's loyal to his guys and what have you. But when you look at the other three centre halves, they're the other threes that you put in on the plane before Grant Hanley: Henderson, Finlay, and Halkett, because they've all been absolutely exceptional.
The only person that doesn't, apart from Steve Clark, that doesn't want Hendo on the plane is Hendo's wife or future wife, because he's due to get married in the summer.
So he is, So he is. Speaking to his dad after the game, I was actually speaking to Cole's dad as well. Willie obviously is a big Hibee, and he was just beaming from he's a big Hibee, Willie, Hendo's dad, but he was absolutely beaming after that yesterday, saying we're brilliant. I was like, yes we are, Willie, yes we are. So he was absolutely beaming for obviously Liam as well. So brilliant. Okay, right, I'll take the Dafty award then. That's fine. Right, brilliant. Okay, well, let's find out who's the Dafty now as we play Falkirk Daft versus Ryan. You're going up against Ross again.
Well, we'll see if we can get my revenge on that last one. We'll see.
Ross is you're in decent form. You've not been beaten in a wee while, Ross, I don't think.
Well, I got beat off Lewis, as you recall.
Like that. You spat the dummy after that one.
To be fair, I think I would feel worse losing this one than I did, and I hung up against Lewis. So
you rage quit the podcast.
Rage quit against Lewis. So
it's all right. I'll just send you the answers right now, then, Ryan, so we can see it. Right, okay, boys. Ross, you've got your pen at the ready. 5
do.
questions in front of me. Penalty style shootout. We will see who does the best. Here we go then. Right, okay, question number 1. Barney scored a hat-trick yesterday, but who was the last Falkirk player to score a hat-trick? Barney got a hat-trick yesterday, but who was the last Falkirk player to score a hat-trick?
In any competition?
In any competition. Just the last Falkirk player to score a hat-trick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I've got one.
Right, okay. Ryan, go for your answer.
That's a tricky one, that one, John. But Craig McGuffey, did he get a?
McGuffey is a good shout, but actually is wrong because actually Callum Morrison got a hat trick after McGuffey. But Ross, I think, might have the right answer. What are you going for, Ross?
I went for earlier this season. That's why I was asking about the competition, because Dylan Tate scored a. Can you see that? Dylan Tate scored a hat trick against Deacon.
He did, and that is the correct answer. 1-0, Ross. And for just a wee bonus, who was the last Falkirk player who scored a hat trick in the top flight? I think you'll have seen this on social media if you've been watching it today.
No, I've not, but I remember
Stokes.
No,
either Stokes or Gow.
Gow against Dundee United.
Dundee United.
5-1. Yeah. There you go. So well done. Right, wee bonus point. So 1-0, Ross. Right, second question. What is Barney's degree in? What is Barney's degree in? What did he qualify in? What did he get his degree in?
This feels like an obvious one, but I don't know if it is. But I'll write down what I think it is.
Right, okay. You've written your answer down,
I have,
Ross.
yes.
Ryan, what are you going for?
Something like sports science or something. Sports science. We'll go with sports science.
I've said the same.
Yep, it's actually sports and exercise science, but I will accept
there you
sports
go.
science.
I knew there'd be a long-winded name to make it something.
2-1 to Ross. Right, okay, it's heating up now. Which English club did Aidan Nesbitt join after leaving Celtic? We obviously play them this Sunday, but which English club did Aidan Nesbitt join after leaving Celtic? Ross doesn't look like he knows this one.
But I'll write something down, but I've no idea if it's right.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think it's right, but
okay, cool. Ryan, stab in the dark.
Stab in the dark, Plymouth Argyle.
Plymouth Argyle. Ross?
I've said Swindon Town.
Both wrong, MK Dons.
Was it?
Would never know that.
2-1. Right, okay, next question. Question number 4. Alfie obviously joined St Johnstone, our Guinean prince. I can't believe it. He started yesterday for St Johnstone. I don't know how he got on. We need to check with the St Johnstone supporters. But can you name any other player currently playing at McDermott Park that has featured for the Bairns? So Alfie joined St Johnstone, but can you name any other player currently playing at McDermott Park that featured for the Bairns?
No, I couldn't even tell you half the squad. Any in the squad, actually.
No idea.
No idea. Both thrown in the towel on this one. You could have had one of two answers. You could have had Regan Tumblety, or you could have had Kai Fotheringham.
Is he on loan from Dundee United, is he?
There you go.
Right,
there you go. 2-1. Right, Ryan, you need this one.
Need this one.
You need this one, and you need Ross to slip up. Here we go. Your fifth and final question. Who was the last Falkirk player to score at Celtic Park? Who was the last Falkirk player to score at Celtic Park?
So, as in this season?
Ross, the question's been asked. Who was the last Falkirk player to score at Celtic Park?
Right, so
That's all you're getting. Written some down, Ross?
I'm writing currently, but I can't even. Yeah, right, okay, I've written some down.
Right, Ryan?
The only one I can think of, the last one, would be Finn Yates, but...
Right, Finn Yates. Ross?
I've not went Finn, I've went Henry Cartwright.
You're both wrong, which does mean Ross wins it. Keelan Adams scored in the 4-1.
5-2 game. So
no, you're fine. Not the 5-2 game, the 4-1 game at the start of the season.
Oh, yes, the cup game.
Yeah, it was endure going back to the season before when it was Finn Yates.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That was tight, Ryan. That was a tight game.
He said, there you go.
Tighter the last time, but I'll let you off this time. So don't worry about
There
it.
you go, brilliant. All right, brilliant. Ryan, give us your details. You're the episode sponsor this week. Where can people get RMAR Architecture?
Best way to do it is just find us online at rmar.co.uk, and all the information to contact us is there. That's the best way to do it.
There you go, and remember, quote 10% and get that delicious discount off Ryan, the housewife's fair. Look at this. Why wouldn't you want your architectural needs, if you're watching the YouTube version, by this handsome guy right in front of me? Get in touch with Ryan. And as you say, Falkirk supporter, all those other architects in the town,
Forget them.
yeah, about it.
Forget them.
Arseholes.
Forget them.
Arseholes, absolute arseholes. We can say that because we don't know them.
You
Sure,
can say that.
sure,
Yeah, anything to add that.
sure, they're
That's not
lovely
the
guy,
opinion
but
of the
we'll just say
architects.
they're arseholes. Right, brilliant. Listen, thank you very much for coming on, Ryan.
Cheers,
see you in
guys.
the next one. Cheers, mate.
Brilliant. Take care.
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall and the Falkirk football fans in training.
And that is it for this Monday edition of Falkirk Daft. Before we go, I've got to say thanks very much to the Falkirk football fans in training, the T8s, supporters of this podcast. They're at the stadium every Wednesday between 8:30 and 9:30. The Elite Academy and Legends sections are there. Get down, as I keep saying, it's a new year, it's a new you. Help your mental health, get fit, and head down and join the boys down at the stadium every Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:30. The details are below. Speak to Ian, Willie, or Dougie. The criteria is basically you have to be over 40, no ex-pros or registered amateurs. Just a bunch of lads wanting a game of football on a Wednesday night. Get yourself down there. I'm probably hitting the over 50 section soon enough. We've got another 5 years to go, but I'll be down there soon enough, no doubt. So, but they're a great bunch of lads. Didn't see any of them yesterday, actually, surprisingly.
No, I didn't either. I thought we would have done. I
Thought
know.
I definitely bumped into one of them yesterday. But yeah, get yourself involved with the guys. 8:30 to 9:30 at the stadium next week. And talking about the foundation, just go check on the women's score. I couldn't believe it yet this afternoon. I was down to pick up my car because I walked the dog down because I left my car at the stadium last night. So I walked from Larbert to bloody the stadium today. What a hike that
Good
was.
walk. That's a good walk.
Good old walk. And I completely forgot the women were playing at this on the pitches today, so I missed it. And it ended 0-0. They were playing Ross Vale, so I don't know where that leaves them in the league.
No, they're still top. Yeah, they're still top of the
So I
league.
know they got beat off
yeah.
They got beat off Renfrew ladies the week before, 4-3. What a game! But yeah,
The gap has been cut, so I think the gap's now 5 points.
right.
From they're still top though. They're still top.
Yeah, so yeah, I was driving away, and I was just when I was driving, I went, oh, it's Falkirk women. I should have stayed and watched them. But my apologies that I didn't stay and watch the game, girls. But 0-0 at the stadium and still top of the league. So keep it going and we'll give you details of the next fixtures for the ladies when we get them. And that's it for us today. Just been a great weekend. It's just been great, and the fun continues with a trip to Celtic Park on Sunday.
It does. It does. I'm looking forward to. Listen, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. We've got ourselves in such a good place, and who knows where we'll finish, John? Will it be sixth? Will it be fifth? Will it be bottom six? Who knows, right? But listen, we've done enough to say we belong where we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and
And I will now
you
state
never
we
know.
are safe. I will now put my hands up and say we are
Oof.
safe. There we
There
go.
he is.
There
There
we
he
go.
is.
I'll hold that. You can quip that because there's no way, having seen Kilmarnock and Livingston, how many points away? Kilmarnock are 19 points.
19. Yeah.
So we're miles ahead of them, and we're going into the kind of remaining fixtures. That's us into the third quarter now.
Yeah. Yep.
And what a start to the quarter. Tough games coming up. And saying that, we know Celtic away will be Celtic away. Livingston, Jesus Christ! If there's any time to get this monkey off the back, it is bloody now.
We have to beat them at some point, John. We
Yeah.
have to beat them at some point.
Exactly. So that's, and then obviously we've got then Dundee United. So the games come thick and fast over the next couple of weeks. Got Stenny Cup game and the sandwich in the middle of it all as well. So
Yep.
the games are coming thick and fast, but we're here for it, and
We are.
deserve to be, as Stephen McGinn says. We've got belief in the podcast now. I've been inspired, like Stephen McGinn's got me fired up about the belief thing now. We've grown like the team. We've grown in belief. Apart, you've been obviously a believer from
the day dot, Ross, when you were declaring that we were going to be in the Champions League next season. But you know, I've got the belief now. We've got the belief. Come on, Bairns, we can do it. Let's go. Brilliant. Thank you very much for watching or listening to Falkirk Daft. All the details and everything you need to know about our social channels, the Discord channels. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Like and subscribe. All below. Leave your comments on the show. We'd love to hear from you and give you a shout out on the show. But we will be back on Thursday, hopefully with Simon Donnelly. I'll see if I can get Simon to talk about the Celtic game, which would be really good fun. And we could maybe have a wee bit of Scotland chat as well. He was the last youngest player to play at the World Cup, youngest Scottish player to play at a World Cup was Simon Donnelly.
Good fact. That is a good fact.
When he played at France 98. So there you go. But yeah, we'll hopefully get Simon on Thursday's shows. Look forward towards Celtic. But until that time, Ross, Wayne, what do we say to the people out there listening?
And as always, John, expect the unexpected. Come on, the Bairns.
We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft. Talking about the dark blues and having a bit of a laugh. We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft. You can listen in the pub or you can listen in the bath. We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft. For everyone who's caring about being a Falkirk Bairn, we're Falkirk Daft. We are Falkirk Daft.